So can you feel anything while touching on the print? Is it like a sticker or something? Or is,
It's like a sticker at the
it's
finger.
like a sticker, right? Then it will be transfer printing. Okay. It will be transfer printing. So just like that. Okay. Okay. Any idea about different types of different printing techniques or different types of printing? Any? One is block printing. So what is mean by block printing? What? Question after question, right? I'm bombarding you guys with questions. Yeah. So first it was printing, different types of printing, and now what is block printing, right? So printing now we know it's just selective application of dye or color, right? Okay. So what is block printing? What block?
Manually doing.
Yes. Most of the printing techniques are just manual only, apart from the transfer and digital printing. Okay, have you ever done these vegetable printings and or cutting different shapes on your potato and whatever it is? Have you ever tried doing that? Yes, right. That is kind of block printing only. So we just carve those vegetables into different shapes and we just apply those fabric paint or whatever it is onto it, and we will just press it on fabric, right, to create those shapes, those impressions on your fabric. So that is kind of block printing only. But when it comes to manufacturing industry, these blocks are, instead of carving it on vegetables and all, we just carve it on a piece of wood. Okay, on a wooden block. Whatever design we want, we just carve it on a wooden wooden block. So that is block printing, and we will just put that on this dye solution or color solution, and then we will press it on the fabric. Okay, so that is block printing. So I'm going to share my screen now. So yes, here you can see. Printing is the process of application of color into a specific area of fabric based on the design of the print. It is like the localized dyeing of textiles. So in order to prepare that printing paste, so one question that I want to ask you now is that, just assume we will be using a dye. Okay, it can be a dry dye or it can be a thick paste kind of dye, paste kind of color. And along with that, we will be using a binder and water. All these things will be used, mixed together to form a solution which will be used, a color solution which will be used for this printing. Okay. So what if the paste or if the dye is too loose, too watery? What will happen? What will happen? You are having a block with you. Okay. You are having a block with you. And what if the solution or the dye that you are going to use for printing is too loose, too watery?
It won't be perfectly dyed. It'll come out.
Yes, the design will not be perfect, right? It will not be perfect. Yes, the impression will not be clear on the fabric. What if it is too thick? Excess dye, right? Excess dye will be there on the block. So which will also cause this imperfect and messed up patterns on the fabric, right? So that is, so the concentration should be perfect. While mixing, there is this 2:4:1 is that kind of ratio while mixing your dye, binder, water and all. Okay. And based on that ratio, we will be mixing it together to form that particular solution, which will be color solution that will be used for dyeing. And in order to prevent the usage of excess color or excess paste, we will be applying it on different layers of fabric, and then over it we will be placing these blocks, so that we can avoid the excess usage of these colors or getting the design messed up because of excess dye. Okay, so we will just watch a video later. Okay, later we will watch a video. So we will be using coloring compound, we will be using water to make sure that it is of the right concentration. Then we will be using thicker, we will be using binder, and how steaming of fabric will help while printing. So when it comes to natural fabrics, when we steam ensures adequate penetration of the dye molecules in the fiber. It will loosen up the fibers through steaming. If it is a hydrophobic fabric like synthetic fabric like polyester, nylon, etc., it is hydrophobic. It doesn't absorb water, right? So in that case, we will be dry heating it. So what happens when we heat a polythene cover, a plastic, a thermoplastic material? It will melt, right? It will melt. So because of which, when it comes to polyester, when it comes to synthetic fabric, thermoplastic fabric, we will heat it. We will heat the fabric instead of steaming it. When it comes to natural fabric, we will steam the fabric just before printing it. Okay. So that is the procedure. So that the fibers will loosen up and the dye or whatever it is will easily penetrate into the fabric. Okay. So that is the procedure. So we will be using a binder, we will be using a dye, we will be using water. Okay. To prepare the solution that is used for printing, dye solution. Okay. So first printing technique is block printing. You know what block printing is, right? Now you know. Vegetable printing that we used to do in our childhood, during our childhood, is an example for block printing only. Another type of printing is screen printing. So here there is an image. So yes, different types of methods of printing: block printing, screen printing, which is again classified into two: flatbed, rotary screen. Then we have transfer printing, digital printing. Then some others also are there. The most common types of printing are block printing, screen printing, digital printing, and transfer printing. So block printing. You can see the image, right? This is a block. I hope you can see. This one. This is a block. And here you can see an image of a person block printing on a fabric. Okay. Yes, I got confused there. Yes, next is screen printing. Okay, next is screen printing, from which this one is flat bed. Okay, flat bed technique, and this one is rotary printing technique. Okay, this one is flat bed, and this one is rotary printing. Okay. So in flatbed technique, just like block printing, you will create a solution for all the dyeing techniques. You will be creating printing techniques. You will be creating a solution, and you will be putting those thick dye solution inside these screen, and using a squeegee, you will just wipe it. Then the design will get printed, transferred onto the fabric. Okay, so that is how screen printing works. In this rotary printing, as you can see, instead of a screen, the design is on a roller. Rotary printing is more comfortable when it comes to mass production of fabric, because screen printing is manual, but rotary printing is mechanical. So it is more convenient to use rotary printing technique when it comes to mass production. Any doubts there? Flatbed and rotary printing techniques. Just let me know if you have any doubts, okay? So the next is transfer printing or digital printing. So transfer printing, so first we will create a design, okay? We will be having a design that needs to be printed onto the fabric, right? First we will create a design or pattern, whatever it is. We will create it, first we will create it on a paper, then we will create it on Adobe Illustrator or any software. So on that, digitally we will create those design, and then we will print it onto a piece of paper, a glazing paper. Okay. We will print it onto a paper, and then later with the help of heat, we will transfer the design from paper to t-shirt or garment or piece of fabric by applying heat. We will, just like we, before we used to get these tattoos along with these gums, right? Chewing gums and all. So we used to apply, transfer those stickers onto our hand with the help of those water, applying water on it. So just like that, with the help of heat, we will transfer the design from paper to t-shirt, shirt or fabric. Okay, so that is transfer printing. Okay. So there also we are just doing transfer printing with the help of water. So that is basically transfer printing. What is digital printing? We used to take out printouts, right? Black and white color printout. When it comes to assignment submission or something else, we used to take these printouts, right? Just like that, instead of paper, we will feed fabric onto the printing machine. Separate printing machines are there for it. Okay, so a bigger version of our paper printing machines. Okay, so we will feed the fabric instead of paper, and the design will get printed onto fabric. So that is digital printing. Okay, digitalized printing. Just like how we take printouts, we will just print out on piece of fabric. Okay, so that is digital printing, and you know what is transfer printing. Now let's watch a video, a short video on different types of printing techniques.